Hi, everyone. So, today I'm going to be discussing the organism coffee and its true benefits and effects on humans. So, a lot of us, when we think of coffee, we think of the drink that we wake up to in the morning or the drink that gets us through the day. However, a lot of people don't actually know what coffee is, where it comes from, and most importantly, the true benefits and impacts that it has not only on us, but the planet as well. Some background on the plant. The coffee bean comes from coffee trees. The tree is covered with dark green waxy leaves, which grow in pairs opposite from each other. And coffee cherries, as they're called, grow along the branches, and inside is what contains the coffee bean. So the coffee bean grows best in environments which are very wet and typically at higher elevations, essentially stating that they're grown best in tropical environments. Um, and here you can see the hierarchy of where coffee stems from. However, you can notice that there are no species listed at the bottom, and that's because there are over 100 species of coffee. However, the two most well known and significant to us in this case include the Arabica bean and the Robusta bean. So, approximately 70% of the world's coffee comes from the Arabica bean, and approximately 30% comes from the Robusta bean. The only difference between the two really being that the Robusta bean contains approximately twice the amount of caffeine as the other bean does. However, the Arabica bean is a bit more expensive than the Robusta bean, which is kind of interesting. The coffee bean is actually considered to be one of the world's most valuable and traded crop, and it's extremely important in the export production from several countries, including mainly South America, the Caribbean, and Africa. One negative impact, however, that comes from coffee production can be deforestation. So, deforestation is the permanent removal of trees to make room for something else, in which case, this would be the coffee bean. This can also include using the land for other agriculture or using the timber for fuel. So, since the 1950s, it's been reported that we've lost approximately 9% of our world's rainforest from things like deforestation. And according to NASA, in addition, the remaining 6% of the rainforest could be destroyed in 40 years. Um, and as more than 200 acres are burned each day to clear land for agriculture and industrial purposes. So, deforestation is a serious problem, and um, coffee bean production is definitely not helping this. Um, there was a research simulation done as well, which modeled the global atmosphere and biosphere to assess the effects of the Amazon deforestation. Um, and they found a significant increase in the surface temperature and decrease in the evapotranspiration and precipitation over Amazonia, essentially arguing that deforestation could lead to an even bigger problem being climate change. So the production of the coffee bean is definitely one negative impact on the planet. However, there are some benefits to the coffee bean, of course. So what is caffeine? Caffeine is very important to coffee, at least for me. Caffeine is a drug which stimulates your body, speeding up the messages traveling between your brain to your body. This can be found in not only coffee beans, but other products that a lot of people consume daily. Um, Caffeine, however, is considered a drug, therefore giving it the potential to be very dangerous. However, there are many pros and cons to caffeine, which we will discuss. Um, the health effects of coffee on humans. So, to start off with the cons, it's said that caffeine can worsen or increase anxiety and depression, increase blood pressure. It's dangerous for pregnancy. It can lead to insomnia, headaches, and the most important being that it can lead to addiction, not only to caffeine, but also to other stimulants as well. So, that's definitely some of the negative impacts from caffeine from coffee. However, It's been reported that caffeine, of course, being a stimulant, has the ability to increase alertness and activity. It can also enhance weight loss by stimulating the thermogenesis, and it can also be consumed sometimes as an appetite suppressant, or the chemicals within it can be appetite suppressant for people. It's also beneficial to your cognitive function. It's been found that caffeine can lower your risk to developing Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease, which we will discuss later on. And other studies have, in fact, found that caffeine lowers your risk to other serious medical problems, as well as liver, colon, and other cancers, which is pretty significant. In a Johns Hopkins research study on coffee, the leading research nutritionist, she stated that caffeine is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about coffee, which I think a lot of us could agree with. But coffee, however, contains antioxidants and other active substances that may reduce internal inflammation and protect against disease. So coffee, in fact, is beneficial to our health if consumed in an appropriate amount. So in this study, there were 9 reasons that were listed why coffee is good for you, and these were proven. So overall, living longer from your body being able to process glucose better, you're less likely to develop heart failure, you had a healthier liver, your DNA was proven to be stronger, there was a decreased chance of colon cancer, and your risk of Alzheimer's were decreased, as well as the possibility of having a stroke, which was super interesting. There was another research study that was also conducted on specifically memory. And this did suggest that there was a correlation between coffee and improved memory function. So essentially, they did a double blind research study where some participants were given a 200 milligram caffeine tablet, whereas the other group was given a placebo pill. And when the subjects came back the next day, the participants that took the caffeine tablet the day before were actually more successful in recalling the images that were studied the day before, in comparison to the participants that took the placebo pill. So this, in fact, did prove that caffeine can improve long-term memory function and has positive effects on memory. So in conclusion, coffee is a product which has many benefits as well as its risks. I think the most important thing to take away from this is that you obviously have to consume this product in, you can't overconsume this product, because just with anything, too much of anything is not great for you. So there, however, are more rewards than risks if consumed appropriately. However, its effects on the environment and deforestation should be looked over, and alternatives should be made to do better for our planet. As far as a health standpoint, the main warning signs to look out for would be the caffeine addiction and the stress and depression related problems. However, with more research studies being done and the ones that have already come out, it's better understood that there are many more health benefits to coffee than we actually think, and we should definitely be mindful of our consumption and overall effect that this organism not only has on ourselves but the planet as well. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening.